Aquí estoy en KC Paint Show. What's up, buddy? Oh my God. Esto es un sueño hecho realidad, cabrón. Estoy aquí en KC. Hey, Ari. Oh my goodness.
All right, guys. Today we got a special guest that came all the way from Cuba.
Okay.
Tell everyone your name.
My name is Orlando. Dímelo, papi.
So Orlando's here. He brought all of his barber gear, and he's gonna give us haircuts.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna set this up on a tripod and get it started.
Thank you so much.
Well, I got here extra early this morning to start painting, and then I figured, you know what, Eric's probably gonna cry if he doesn't see the purple go down. So I tacked the car down, wiped it down, tacked it down, sprayed sealer, and then sat outside on the curb until Eric got here, which was for about 45 minutes. But that's okay, because now we get to spray the color. We did a couple posts, talked to people, got some input on what everybody said. Everybody said, don't paint it that normal color, plum crazy purple. Well, guess what? We're painting that normal color, plum crazy purple. So I'm excited to see color on this car. I know the customer is going to be excited too. So I think everything's ready to spray except the front filler piece. And then after those two pieces are fixed, we'll spray them. So I'm going to paint. Watch and learn, Eric. You can stick it wherever. Just stick it wherever. Wherever. I am
fitting the panels so I can start gapping it. It's had a different rocker and different door. Actually, it was the whole inner quarter rocker A-pillar piece, because the car had been hit pretty hard to begin with. So that had been changed, and the doors off of the car that we got that from. Now I'm just trying to make all the parts fit fairly good to begin with and gap decent. That way I can start cutting up gaps and welding gaps to make them just right. It needs a little work because they were never that good to begin with. There's a little high spot every once in a while, a little low spot, but
does that just come with playing with the door adjustments? Or do you get to a certain point where you just kind of got to cut into metal and
you get to a certain point where you got to cut it, but I'm just trying to get it to that point before, once I get the whole car squared up and all set together, then I can start marking it on where I want to cut. You got to go and get your hood gap, because if you didn't have your hood on and get all that gap, and then you go right in front of that fan, you put the hood on, or you gap it with the fenders and you don't have the hood on, then you go to put the hood on and you might have to move it. So everything you did, you got to do again. I'm gonna go through, I'll get all the front end put on, make sure everything's copacetic, get the deck lid back on. The deck lid is pretty close. Also got to figure out how to fit a blower under the hood, because it didn't exactly fit with the stock hood. So, but this is the first time the front end's actually been 100% bolted on, so I'll probably set the blower back on it and see how much room I actually have, because it doesn't look like it's, I mean, that's pretty high if the blower hits, but I don't know. I haven't made it that far. It'd be cool to see it with the blower on it again though. It'll be a mean car for being as light as it is.
Yeah. Be a handful.
Yeah.
So there was one question which I think you're qualified to answer.
The earth is flat.
Edgar Velasco, what fuel cell and fuel pump do you use for the F100 Coyote swap? 9
times out of 10, we just use a Mustang tank. It bolts underneath the frame rails pretty easy. And we do the Aeromotive with the stealth pump in it. So it's just wire it up and run the feed and return to it. It's easy.
There was a bunch of people asking where everyone else is at.
I think Keith's qualified to answer that question.
Hey Eric!
What's up, Douglas?
Just working on the 64 Vet 2. Keith and I are double teaming it. Thanks for showing me all the comments, and thanks to everybody for suggestions for the Shop Dad Camaro.
What's the status on that?
Right now it's over at the lube center at the mechanic, getting a little electronic analysis here. Haven't figured out what's going on with it.
Hopefully you'll have it back on the road soon.
Yeah, anything to make Shop Mama unhappy. I'm gonna have to hide it somewhere though. So far, I'm not allowed to bring it back home. So last night we cut a little rust out of the frame here that Keith or Zach is gonna repair, and got our new frame horn section in for backup. Just got the piece cut and gonna trim it down and slip it in there and have our welding team go after it.
Team of one.
Team of one. That damn light gets in my way. I don't think they've developed a helmet that I can use yet. I've been watching Keith and Zach weld, trying to not focus on the green light, but
That's
you know,
welded, Doug.
yeah, it's not working for me.
So, how does this piece work in here? The one you're working on?
This goes in the frame horn right there. See, we cut it out. It's got a double here, and there's rust in between there, so we had to cut the old one out and get rid of it and get a new one to go in, and then there was more rust in here that we had to cut out.
So anyways, back on the 64 Vet still. We got that side finished for the most part yesterday. We're still got, let me reach over, one last plate to make, or to put in. These are the ones we could buy, and it just goes over everything and reinforces it more. The real trailing arm for the suspension goes through there, but I'm leaving this off for now so I can have a visual and reference to make this over here where I cut this out this morning. So put it all back together. Got this one just about ready to go in. It'll go in, weld up here. Then we'll make another plate that just covers this area. And then make these again. Go back up there, cap it all off, D it down, and maybe by the time we go home tonight, that side, or this side, will look like that side.
Thanks for watching.
You don't have to clap to cut it, Doug.